Throughout update 6.9, you can earn Ephemera 9 divine codes. Today we'll be going over the common manuals you can buy with that Ephemera. As always, you can use these for a free merge if you want. For 300 Ephemera each, we have the 5-star common manuals. First up is Dancer Quan, and in terms of rarity and value, this guy is definitely worth the cost. Quan has the very rare courtly bow plus. If you have more than 50% HP, you get plus 5 attack and defense and 50% damage reduction against the first hit, but only if the enemy can make a follow-up attack against you. This is the same weapon type as the Courtly Candle, which did get turned into the stout weapon types on some demoted units, so it's very possible a stout bow could appear. This is an interesting weapon because damage reduction is all the rage, but it's a bit iffy for a bow. Ideally, you want to be kind of slow so you get doubled, or you're banking on enemy free follow-up attacks or just getting outsped. The main reason Courtly Candle on Dancer Eldigan was so popular is that he could use it with something like Deflect Magic, 50% DR on hit 1, 80% DR on hit 2. Similar idea for Brave Dimitri if you just focused purely on physical matchups. Unfortunately for archers, they can't run Deflect Melee. They can run Deflect Magic or Missile though, so you can still get damage reduction on both enemy attacks. However, it's a bit hard to find an appropriate user. There is far safe archers like Winter Ignatz or Felix, but they're both pretty fast, which may not let them get doubled. The slow standout ones are the Monster Valentine's Fae or Pledgeon Raphael. Guess what though? Ranged units can't run defensive specials and thus no hardy fighter. That's where everyone and their moms just run Brave Hector with distant counter. With that said, a ranged weapon with some kind of damage reduction can be pretty valuable, so it's neat to get for free. The best part about inheriting the Courtly Bow from Quan is that you can also get 2 tier 4 skills with it, Tech and Defense Bond 4 and Joint Hone Defense. Bond 4 neutralizes debuffs and Joint Hone buffs the user and adjacent allies. Quan is the only unit with Attack and Defense Bond 4, and the tier 3 is on units like Basilio. Joint Home Defense is pretty rare, but only requires fortified defense to inherit, so again, extremely easy to get here. You could give both of these to our new Mordecai, Rinka, or anyone with the Flame Goomba plus sword. Last skill Quan has is Flare Formation 3, which is fine, but available on other low rarity units. It's definitely the last thing I would inherit from him. Overall, extremely worth the Ephemera Divine Codes. Grab the Courtly Bow or 2 tier 4 defense focused passives. Or if you're an archer, you can get all 3. Our next 5-star manual is a bit less exciting but still offers one rare skill. Dancer Quan Reinhardt is a fun flying dancer with his signature Brave Tome. You can't inherit that though. His one rare skill is Joint Hone Attack. The prerequisites are just Hone Attack 3 and everyone has demos to use for that. With Joint Hone Attack, you can grab Death Blow 3 or Chill Res 3. Neither are that exciting as they're on free-to-play units. Basically, is 300 Ephemera worth it for you for Joint Hone Attack? Well, maybe, but it's not like it's a must-have or anything. It's a simple buffing skill though, so not like it's bad for pretty much anybody. Cavaliers can't self-buff next to each other if you wanted to use something like a Rouse skill, but with Joint Hones, they can be used. It's only one single stat, but you do buff allies as well. Moving on to the 4-star common manuals, these cost 100 Ephemera each. Our returning Tempest Trials unit is Spring Luthier. At 4 stars, he has Attack and Defense Snag 3, which is pretty rare, but it's also rare to see people actually using snag skills in the first place. They're not exactly in the best slot competing with something like Kanto and other combative perks. They inflict debuffs on nearby foes after using a movement ability. At 5 stars, Luthier has the Carrot Tip Spear Plus. If the foe has more than 75% HP or an active penalty, grant plus 5 attack and defense during combat, and deal extra true damage on your first attack equal to the total attack plus defense debuffs on the enemy. Basically, you get extra burst for one hit. If the foe has minus 6 attack and minus 6 defense, you get a nice plus 12 true damage. Not a bad weapon, but it does require debuffs. Geralt would be a nice partner for this effect, but then you're running double lances. As for his other 5-star skill, you have Attack and Defense Bond 3. You can get it with the Carrot Spear if you use 4-star Basilio for the tier 2. Luthier doesn't have anything super in demand, but I'd say he's still worth the 100 Ephemera. Next up is Mirielle, one of our more recent demotes. I believe she was an instant demote at the time or something, so that's why everyone got some free copies. I think at least one of those was a 5-star as well. At 4 stars though, you can get Drawback and Speed and Res Link 3. At 5 stars, he has the Blue Lion Plus Tome. Lion Tomes grant plus 6 attack to adjacent allies, so it's just a super hone attack buff. At start of combat, if the foe is more than 75% HP, you can get plus 5 attack and res during combat. Very simple weapon. Part ally buffing, part attack and res boost. Not exactly a crazy strong weapon, but if you want a buffing build, this is an option for those. For her 5-star skill, you can get Attack and Speed Ideal 3, nice for leading into the tier 4, and it's a decent budget A skill. It does require full HP, or bonuses active, but it has no positioning requirements, and it is working on both phases. Next up, we have Norne. She is probably still the best all-around infantry archer merge project. for the summonable units, I was thinking of making a plus 10 one myself until young Innis hit the stage. Funny enough, Norne's Summer Alt is also probably the best Infantry Lancer merge project due to just sheer lack of competition. She's just a great free-to-play unit all around. Sadly, it's not due to her skills, but her stats. At 4 stars, she has Reposition, which is my favorite skill. It's always useful to have. You can get Spin Defense Link 3, which is decent for buffing. At 5 stars, you got the Guard Bow Plus, which is just decent defense 3. Not exactly the best, and I would say Winter Felix's Reindeer Bow is a better defensive option since you get Guard built in. You don't get a res buff, but it works on either phase too. Norton also comes with Brazen Speed and Defense 3. She's the only unit with this skill, and Brazens and Ace Slot aren't exactly the greatest. They work nicely as Sacred Seals. Our last 2 units are from launch, so probably not very useful for long-time players, but maybe new players might need 1 skill from them. At 4 stars, Abel has Swordbreaker 3, which is a decent budget speed skill. He also has Aegis, which has become super annoying due to Hardy Fighter. At 5 stars, you can get the Brave Lance Plus, always decent, but we do have 2 Ninja Brave Lances that are generally better. Abel also has HP plus 5, and while useful for some things, please don't spend 20,000 feathers for it. Last up is Felicia, and basically you're only using her for Glacies and Breath of Life 3 if you need them. Resistance plus 3 and the Silver Dagger are kind of just worthless. That'll be it for this month's Ephemera 9 common manuals. Dancer Quan is definitely the most valuable pick here, and Reinhardt at least has Joint Hone Attack. For me, I'll be looking to get both of those. Hopefully enough to get Luthier as well, since he is a grow unit. Good luck getting everyone you want. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.